cube root is the same thing as a power of 1/3, so this is going to be 1/3 3x minus 5 to the negative 2/3 times 3 for the chain rule. Well, I guess the 3 and the 1/3 cancel each other out. That's a little bit nice. So 1 over 3x minus 5 to the 2/3. And then I want to evaluate that at negative 22/3, which looks like it's going to be awful, but because of all the problem setup, it's going to turn out to be okay. 1 over 3 times negative 22/3 minus 5 to the 2/3. Yes, sir? Well, it was negative here, but that's why I flipped it into the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. The 3's cancel. Negative 22 minus 5 is negative 27 to the 2/3. Okay, that's going to work, because the cube root of 27 is 3, or negative 3, and then I square it and I get 9. So 1/9. 1/9 is the derivative of the original at negative 22/3. So what's the answer to this question? 9. So that one was a pain for all the normal inverse reasons, but also fractions and cube roots and squareds and negative exponents and all the little algebra rules that we hope you remember. Number 4. Again, I think it's worth the time to set up the table. If you can pull it off without that, good for you. And I'm aiming for this, which is the reciprocal of what's above it. So the y value is 1. Okay, so cosine equals 1. Cosine equals 1 at 0. Yeah, the cosine of 0 is 1. So that means that 2x has to equal 0. So x equals 0. So now I need to find the derivative, evaluate it at 0, flip it over. So f prime would be derivative cosine is negative sine of 2x, chain rule, times 2. Uh-oh, I see where this is going. So if I plug in 0, negative 2 times sine of 0 is 0. So that derivative is 0. And what's the reciprocal of 0? I mean, I guess I could write it, but that's not really my final answer. What's 1 divided by 0? Undefined. Let's go back and read the question to make sure, because undefined slope, that could mean a vertical tangent line, could mean our answer is undefined. Let's just see. It says find the derivative. Well, the derivative is undefined there. So my answer is just undefined. Which one?
10.
Number 10. Okay, again, take the time to set it up. It's, I think, well worth the time to sort of lay out the problem, even lay out a little bit of a roadmap there. So 3 equals x e to the cosine x. That would have to be with a calculator. I couldn't do that without a calculator.
Other problem on the review, you scratched it out and you wrote f of x equals tan x at x.
Gotcha.
I was confused.
And
I
also,
realized it was a different
I did that, and then I saw it, and I was like,
Right. So this one was okay. So this one says use a calculator, and then I said don't use a calculator, and then I changed the problem, but I didn't make a public announcement of changing the problem. So for this particular problem, you would have to use a calculator. For the one I changed it to, you wouldn't have to use a calculator, which is why I changed it, but then I didn't make that public. So forget number 10. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we can talk about that later. Do you know how to put that in the calculator and find where that is?
I did it with a calculator and I got decimal.
Yeah, you're going to get a weird, ugly decimal. That's true.
And then it just didn't work out, and it didn't match what I did.
Let's do that real quickly because that is an important thing that you have to know how to be able to do. So I think what I would do is make it equal to 0. So x e to the cosine x. Oops. X e to the cosine x. Oh, minus 3. And I want to know where that's equal to 0. So who knows what this graph looks like, but there's my 0 right there. So second calc, 0. Left bound, right bound, guess. So my x value from the calculator is 4.335. And we need the derivative there, but the calculator can tell me the derivative there. So second calc, dy dx, and I need to put in my values, so I can type in 4.335. So second calc, and one of the options is dy dx. And then you can arrow around, but you have a specific point in mind, so you can just start typing in the point. 4.335. 3.47959. Whatever. You need your answers to be accurate to 3 decimal places on the AP test. So, of course, while you're working the problem, carry more than 3, and then when you get to the very end, then round. So 1 divided by 3.47959. So using the calculator to do the dirty work of finding the 0 and of taking the derivative. No, so there won't be one like that on the test. But that is an important thing to be able to do.